Verse 732. If form is to be found in the world of formlessness, it is not visible. Its non-existence contradicts the truth. There is neither a vehicle nor a driver. There's a little footnote here by the translator. The statements about form here are not quite intelligible. But let's have a look. Let's have a close look. I was going to cover this verse in the previous video because it follows on in a sense from the previous two verses, which were attacking the theorizers. The theorizers are those that try to understand the teachings, that try to get them into a framework of mental understanding rather than realize the implication of them directly. And formlessness was mentioned. It was mentioned a couple of verses ago. The world of formlessness. And this is one of the worlds of the triple world. I've spoken about the triple world before. There are many different ways of understanding what the triple world is. But perhaps what we could call classic understanding is the triple world, the threefold world, which comprises the world of desire, the world of form, and the world of formlessness. The world of desire is the world that we live in most of the time. It's the world where our attention is continuously being drawn here and there, in here, into our own thoughts, into our body, into ideas, into our feelings, and so on. It's the world of desire is the world of the hijacked attention. The world of form is when we attempt to do something about that. We've got some understanding of the situation and we start to practice meditation, which is about disciplining the mind, keeping it absorbed on a particular form. It could be the form of the breathing, it could be the form of a particular colour, it could be anything, it could be even the form of the Buddha. Anything which keeps the attention focused. So this refers to the world of the four jhanas. These are different degrees of absorption, and with each degree of absorption there are certain qualities present. I won't go into all of them right now, but the main outcome, the main point of the four jhanas, the end point, is equanimity. Equanimity. It means the attention is actually at rest, regardless of what's going on. So what we've got here is meditation practice, but it's also described by the theorizers as heavenly realms. It's described as a realm that you can be born into. This is the realm of form, it's the world of the meditator. So there are two things here. There's this idea of meditation, and there's the idea of a corresponding heaven, a realm that you can be born into. And I'm going to extend this a little further and say if it's a realm that you can be born into, it's a realm that you're moving around in. So we've gone beyond the notion of meditation, and we're taking the result of equanimity and practicing it, realizing it, as we move around, not just when we're sitting on a meditation cushion. In fact, I would suggest that if you've got some insight already, if you've realized what it is for the attention to be at rest in itself, then you've realized equanimity. And you can come back to this at any point. Lots and lots and lots of formal meditation practice are not necessary. And this point is even more significant when we look at the world of formlessness. The world of formlessness, which moves us on from equanimity. Because being in equanimity is a bit like a cork. It's bobbing up and down on the ocean waves, but it's not being swept backwards and forwards, which isn't a particularly inspiring aspiration. In the world of formlessness, we have another 4 jhanas, the so-called formless jhanas, the formless absorptions. And as enlightenment practitioners, this is where we're working, this is where we're abiding. And the first of these formless jhanas, once we've established ourselves in equanimity, we start appreciating the nature of this attention which we've been focusing. We start appreciating the nature of the attention when it's at rest. We appreciate its nature to project outwards into space. And this particular jhana is called the realm of infinite space. And this conjures up cosmic vistas, doesn't it? But what it really means is infinite amounts of space. Consciousness is projecting outwards. Right now, the space that exists in consciousness is the space of this room. It's relatively enclosed. I can go through to my little toilet room, which is even more enclosed, so it's a different space. When I go outside into the high street or into the road, it's a bigger space. Then I can go to the cliff and watch the sea, and it's a much bigger space. So this is what's meant by infinite spaces. Infinite spaces, really. Because consciousness is continually projecting out. When you realize this, that consciousness is continually projecting out, just as it does in a dream, it creates space in a dream, all different kinds of space, all different kinds of spaces in a dream. Well, once we realize this is the realm of infinite consciousness. This is the unfolding, the projecting outwards of consciousness. It's what we see in a dream every night. Again, it's not a massive big consciousness we're talking about. When we talk about infinite consciousness, we're talking about the infinite potential of consciousness. It is the source of all creativity. Everything comes from it. This is its infinite nature. There's all this stuff happening. There's all this stuff happening. What normally happens is the mind discerns certain aspects, discerns, and me here experiencing all of this. But as enlightenment practitioners, we are not getting caught up in these constructions of a me and a world that's been experienced by this me. We're just seeing the projection of consciousness into space. So when we say there's no me, no external world, and there's a video to this with this title. If you go down the alphabetic index you can find it. When we say there's no me, no external world, well, what is there? This is sometimes described as the sphere of nothingness. But this sphere of nothingness, which contains no me, no external world, if you think there's no me, no external world, you might think there's nothing. But actually, it's the source of everything. The sphere of nothingness is the source of everything. And this is the third of the formless jhanas, the third heaven. So, we call it the sphere of nothingness to consolidate the fact that we're not getting caught up in dualism, not getting caught up in notions of me and an external world. And the fourth, arupa jhana, which is the fourth formless absorption, is that of neither perception nor non-perception. So again, we are no longer relating to what's going on in terms of perception. We don't even think of it in terms of non-perception, because we're not concerned with any notion of perception whatsoever. There is no me experiencing a world there. Therefore, the world is not being perceived through the senses. It is simply the projection of infinite consciousness into infinite space. This is where we move to from equanimity. From equanimity. This is described as the triple world. The world of formlessness, having these four different aspects which help consolidate realization of it. But it's described as a triple world. The theorizers describe it as a triple world, and the triple world is something that you can be born into. The arupa loka is the formless world, and that's what this verse is about. 732. If form is to be found in the world of formlessness, it is not visible. So the theorizers will say it's possible to be born in the world of formlessness, the arupa loka. But if form is to be found, but if it is possible to be born there, then you're not visible. And as I've said, having reached the sphere of nothingness, there is no me, there is no external world. So to say that you can be born into the world of formlessness contradicts the truth, because no defined entity can actually exist there. There is neither a vehicle nor a driver. There is no body and there is no mind to drive it. There is only pure being. So this video has been about the arupa loka, the world of formlessness. It really is about insight into our immediate situation. It's about enlightenment practice once again. And this enlightenment practice isn't about sitting in a state of formal meditation. The absorption in this world of formlessness, is about practicing it at every opportunity. It's about making the opportunities, because there actually is a lot of opportunity to practice it. It's making it the anchor of our day, no matter what is going on. So the theorizers are trying to neatly parcel things up. They talked about the skandhas being in the middle existence. That was back in verse 730. The middle existence would be the world of form. So it makes sense in a way, it makes sense in a conceptual way. The skandhas would be the realization that there is no ego soul. You've moved beyond the realm of desire into the realm of form, where you're trying to discipline your attention. You start to realize there's no ego soul, there's simply the skandhas. Skandhas themselves are a practice. There's a video about that. So it makes some sort of sense, but really what we have to do is move into the realm of formlessness, the world of formlessness, and realize the nature of the attention, the nature of consciousness, how it works, what it's doing. We drop any notions of a me, of an external world, any notions of perception. And when this happens, consciousness is free at last.